I'm Joe Hopkins, and I wanted to talk about the influence of music on history. As a musician and a lover of music, I've always found it how interesting that music could be as influential as it has been, right? So I'm going to go over this a bit. It's a little bit different than videos I've done before. I actually wrote a script for this one, so I'm going to read some. The influence of music on history. Music has been a profound force in shaping the course of history. Its ability to evoke emotion, unite communities, and inspire change has made it a central pillar of human culture. Across centuries, music has not only reflected societal values, but also influenced them. From revolution to civil rights movements, music has played a pivotal role in shaping our world. Let's explore the historical significance of music, illustrating its impact through the contributions of influential artists and movements. Music as a historical mirror. Music has often served as a mirror of societal values and struggles. Throughout history, it has captured the spirit of the times, acting as a powerful form of storytelling. For example, during the medieval era, troubadours and minstrels would compose ballads that reflected the politics, romances, and folklore of their communities. These songs were instrumental in preserving oral traditions which laid the groundwork for written history. And just as a thought on that, we still have our troubadours and minstrels today. That's our popular musicians. The popular musicians we listen to now, they're doing the same thing. It's the same traditional idea where they're singing about politics, romance, our modern folklore and tales, that kind of thing. They really do continue the same tradition as folk musicians throughout the ages have, all right? So in the 18th and 19th century, composers like Ludwig van Beethoven and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart influenced European society by challenging traditional norms through their music, and challenging people to spell their names correctly and pronounce them properly. Those are long names. Yeah, you got to have a long name to be a composer. But anyway, Beethoven, for instance, infused his composition with themes of liberty and human dignity, reflecting Enlightenment ideals. His Symphony No. 9, with its Ode to Joy, became a universal anthem for freedom and brotherhood, and is a really kick-ass tune, man. I love the Ode to Joy. That's a particularly good one. And it was a rather advanced piece for its time, you know? So, let's move on to music as a catalyst for social change. One of the most profound ways music has influenced history is by serving as a catalyst for social and political change. During the 20th century, music became a vital tool in movements for civil rights, anti-war protests, and feminist advocacy. And even now, right, just as a thought here, all of our modern political movements, everything from queer rights to every kind of social change and social movement there is, has music to back it up. Even if it's a social movement you don't like, you know what I mean? Whatever your politics are, you have songs that reflect your thoughts and feelings, and so does the other side. We all use music. It's a wonderful thing, you know? It's a wonderful thing to write a song that has a social and political meaning, that means something to people, and actually have it adopted. And we're going to talk about a little bit of that here too, right? With the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement in the United States is a prime example of how music can empower social change. Songs like We Shall Overcome became anthems of hope and resilience, uniting activists in their struggle for racial equality. Mahalia Jackson, often referred to as the Queen of Gospel, used her powerful voice to inspire millions. Her rendition of How I Got Over at the 1963 March on Washington reinforced the movement's message of faith and perseverance. And if you haven't heard Mahalia Jackson, I'd recommend that you check some of her stuff out, right? Politics aside, she's an amazing singer. She's one of my favorites of all time. Great voice, Yeah, we'll mention another one I love here too, Nina Simone. Yeah, another pivotal figure was Nina Simone, whose song Mississippi Goddamn addressed the injustices faced by black Americans. With biting lyrics and an unapologetic tone, Simone's music galvanized support for the movement and shed light on systematic racism. Yeah, it sounds very textbooky, right? But it's a good song. Nina Simone is awesome. You should check out her stuff too. We're going to get into some stuff you might have heard, some of you. Anti-war movements. During the Vietnam War, music played a central role in anti-war activism. Artists like Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young wrote songs that questioned the morality of war and inspired resistance. And they wrote songs that were legitimately good too, man. Those are all good artists and worth checking out. Dylan's Blowin' in the Wind became an anthem for peace, with its poignant lyrics asking rhetorical questions about freedom and justice. Similarly, Edwin Starr's War directly challenged the justification for conflict, famously declaring, "War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing." Yeah, whether or not you agree with that statement, it's a badass tune, man. And we all know it, war, huh, good God, what is it good for? You know the song, right? These songs provided a voice for those who opposed the war, creating a sense of solidarity among protesters. They also influenced public opinion, contributing to the growing anti-war sentiment that ultimately pressured political leaders to withdraw from Vietnam. Now let's talk about music and cultural identity. Music has also been instrumental in shaping cultural identity. It has allowed communities to celebrate their heritage, preserve traditions, and assert their place in the world. African American music. African American music has had an indelible impact on global culture. That's putting it mildly, From spirituals and blues to jazz and hip hop, these genres have conveyed the struggles and triumphs of black communities. Jazz pioneers like Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington broke racial barriers and brought African American artistry to the forefront of American culture. And they're worth listening to as well. Louis Armstrong's amazing. Duke Ellington is the man. They're worth checking out. If you like jazz, or even if you don't like jazz, check them out. In the late 20th century, hip-hop emerged as a powerful voice for marginalized communities. Artists like Tupac Shakur and Public Enemy used their music to address issues such as police brutality, systemic inequality, and the challenges of urban life. Songs like Public Enemy's Fight the Power not only energized listeners, but also called for systematic change. And it's also a banging tune. I am a personal fan of Public Enemy. I always really dug their stuff a lot. You know what I mean? All right, indigenous music. Indigenous music has also played a crucial role in preserving cultural heritage and resisting colonization. In Australia, Yothu Yindi's, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Treaty became a landmark song advocating for Aboriginal rights and recognition. Similarly, Native American musicians like Buffy St. Marie have used their art to address the struggles of Indigenous peoples, blending traditional sounds with contemporary styles to create a powerful message. Music in revolution. Here we go. The revolution, it will be televised because, well, I don't know, is it going to be televised or live streamed, right? They used to say the revolution will not be televised. Well, will it be live streamed? Ha! Yeah, that's what everybody does now. Music has often accompanied revolutions, acting as both a rallying cry and a symbol of resistance. During the French Revolution, songs like La Marseillaise, I guess, I don't know how to pronounce it, inspired patriotism and unity among revolutionaries. Originally written as a marching song for French troops, it became the national anthem and a symbol of freedom and resilience. In the 20th century, music fueled revolutions in Latin America. And I'm going to try to pronounce all this stuff right, okay? I know how it's spelled. I don't know how to say it. The Nueva Canción movement, led by artists like Violeta Parra and Victor Jara, blended traditional folk music with political activism. Their songs called for social justice, land reform, and workers' rights, resonating deeply with marginalized communities. Victor Jara's El Derecho de Vivir en Paz, the right to live in peace, became an anthem for human rights and democracy, even as he faced persecution and martyrdom under the Pinochet regime in Chile. And I apologize for my mispronunciations, okay? I speak English and very little Spanish, just letting you know. Technological advances and globalization. The advent of recording technology and the internet has amplified music's influence, enabling it to transcend borders and unite people globally. In the 1960s, the British invasion led by the Beatles and the Rolling Stones brought British rock to the world stage, reshaping popular culture. The Beatles, in particular, revolutionized music with their innovative compositions and global appeal. Songs like All You Need Is Love promoted messages of peace and unity, resonating with audiences worldwide. Their influence extended beyond music, impacting fashion, film, and even political discourse. And that's, again, putting something that's just... That's putting it mildly again. The Beatles influenced everything. They were so hugely popular. And the fact that they got on the whole anti-war thing, it really helped to push the whole anti-war movement, to give it a lot of visibility. It's like that even now. A lot of musicians, whether you're down with it or not, they get on various, messages there, and it gives those movements, political and social movements, a real boost, especially if the artist is particularly popular. It gives it a real voice, So more recently, artists like BTS have harnessed the power of social media to build a global fan base. The South Korean group's music, which often addresses themes of self-love and mental health, has fostered a sense of connection among millions of listeners. Their philanthropic efforts, including donations to anti-racism campaigns, highlight how artists can leverage their platforms for social good. And music as a healing force, and it can be. Music can be a healing force, man. Music's emotional power has made it a source of healing in times of crisis. After the 9/11 attacks, Bruce Springsteen's album The Rising provided solace to a grieving nation. Songs like My City of Ruins captured the pain and resilience of those affected, offering a sense of hope. Similarly, during the COVID-19 pandemic, musicians around the world united to bring comfort and solidarity. Virtual concerts like the One World Together at Home event organized by Lady Gaga raised funds for frontline workers and emphasized the unifying power of music. And I got to be honest with you, I watched a good number of live streamed concerts, since nobody could go on tour, a lot of people were just streaming their stuff, doing it at home. I like that. I appreciated it. One band in particular, the Main Squeeze, I really liked all their live streamed concert stuff, just putting it on YouTube. I got to see them live on YouTube. It was cool. Conclusion. Music's influence on history is undeniable. It has been a mirror of societal values, a catalyst for change, and a unifying force. Through the voices of artists like Nina Simone, Bob Dylan, and BTS, music continues to inspire and empower. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, music remains a powerful tool for shaping history and envisioning a better future. And all of this is stuff that I think is pretty interesting stuff. I've always been interested in how music has influenced history and how it's influenced society. And most artists, myself included, have written songs that are meant to be relevant politically, socially, to address things. And it can be fun to write, and it's always any musician's hope and dream that that other people find it socially relevant and find the music you do kind of empowering, right? I haven't done a lot of socially relevant stuff, but I have a few. And I hope that people find it, that it means something to them. That they listen to it and go, yeah. I think that's what you're looking for, just the yeah. And if you'd like to listen to my music and see if you go, yeah, There's links to streaming down below. And here at the end, there's an end screen, right? And I think I got the playlist to my newest album, Sad and Alone, live from the back room on there, right? Check it out. It's all stuff I cribbed off of YouTube. So the playlist is the YouTube videos. You can see, watch me play, sing, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys found this video informative, and I'll see you in the next video, man. I love you guys. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.